I love when it's hot. Turned to the city, I broke off the notch. Got some more millies, that keep me a knot. I created history, it made me a lot. He tried to diss me and any no fox. We call them chopsticks cause they gonna chop. Took her out of filers cause
Wow.
cardiac. I'm the boss man in a suit with no tie.
Kid out of Missouri, Brantley.
Put me some syrup in the can and it's dry. Riding the special like Bunny and Clyde. Ah! Everything litty, I love when it's hot. Turned to the city, I broke off the notch. Got some more millies, that keep me a knot. I created history, it made me a lot.
Hello, Tiger fans, and welcome to this week's episode of the Tiger Style Weekly Update. Today, I'm joined with Coach Smith, the general.
The general.
Taking some time. I appreciate it. So we'll just dive right in. Tough weekend at OSU. You want to cap some of your thoughts?
It was, for a 26-6 score, you look at it and say, man, we got blown out. But three of the matches went overtime. A couple others were decided. 74 was decided in the last 10 seconds. It was tied. We lost 3 of those 4 matches I just talked about. So you can't win big duels. And we talked about that as a team beforehand. I said, guys, we're gonna have to win some tight battles. You're gonna have to win close matches, and every position's important. And they just were the better team that day in the tight battles and then the short time positions. And we've got to grow as a team there and get better. And they know it. They understand that. But overall, I think we competed at a high level, just not high enough to beat Oklahoma State that day. And going into Arizona State this week, I hope we've learned something from that and we move forward and get better in little positions and hopefully we see improvement this week.
Yeah, absolutely. And so Brock Mahler gets a big win down there, but Alan Hart also walks away with a victory. Talk a little bit about Alan Hart and his kind of development, because we've kind of watched him throughout the year with maybe a few ups and downs, but it looks like he's kind of maybe starting to hit his stride a little bit.
Yeah, he definitely has lots of talent. He's out of St. Ed's, Ohio, a great program, and came in and last year had some good moments wrestling 33 part of the time for Ernesty as a second-year freshman, redshirt freshman. But this year it's just struggled a little in the beginning with, weight control and the hour weigh-ins. But now you see it. He's got it under control. He's doing it right. He's enjoying competing, and he's going out and doing he's got a great single leg. He gets to that single, he's most of the time going to finish, and he's a beast on top. He's got cradles, he's got tilts. He tilted the kid from Okie State twice. So we know if we can get him on top, he's going to wear people out. And so he's just having he's peaking kind of at the right time. He's getting his confidence and believing in his holds and having a good season.
Fantastic. Yeah. And, you mentioned the weight a little bit, because it looks like at the beginning of the season, from my perspective, watching from the outside, it looked like a guy who likes to wrestle at a very high pace and seemed to be getting very frustrated that he wasn't able to do that for the entire time.
And that's just learning the hour weigh-ins and how to adjust.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. And that's one I tell people all the time, because, as running a club, I get questions about managing weight. And I tell them one of the most difficult things I had was trying to figure out how to wrestle as well at a duel with a 1 hour weigh-in as I could at a tournament where I had 2 hours to recover, and some of the adjustments that have to go along with that.
Yeah. So,
Alan Hart, young guy coming on, another young guy, Peyton Mako. Let's talk a little bit about Mr. Mako.
He's having a really good, consistent year, winning a lot. He's got over 20 wins, I think, so far, and just competing at a high level. I'd love to see him get more offense going. He's struggling in that, but that's just, he's still young and hasn't found that what his shot is going to be. He has a good double. He has a good knee pull. He also, when people get to his legs, he can scramble. He's coming out of the Askren Academy, so he has good scrambling ability, but he's starting to figure it out, and that's why I'm glad he's had success, especially in the conference. Right now, he's won some big matches over the Shane Jones kid of Old Dominion. He beat the really good kid out of Northern Illinois. So conference-wise, he's going to be probably the second seed, and which is good for him as a freshman going in there. It's going to qualify a bunch of spots that he should make it out and do some good things. He's a dangerous kid. He can scramble and put you on your back, and you could see that in the Okie State match. Whitlake is pretty tough, but he could put him in some positions where they had him not going, scrambling on in the position. So he's got a good future ahead of him, Peyton. He's a really good kid. Also valedictorian of his high school, so he's one of those kids always getting a 4.0. Love him. He's hoping the GPA.
Helps that team GPA stay where it needs to be, right? So
yeah.
Awesome. Well, looking forward to seeing how Peyton Mako goes into the postseason here. The alumni duel coming up. So we got that this weekend. Arizona State's in town. Talk a little bit about the alumni weekend. What should we expect?
It's awesome that so many guys are coming back. We're over 44 or 45 guys that are coming back. We're having a social on Saturday and the dual meet on Sunday with a little gathering at 11:30 before the 1 o'clock duel. And it's just amazing. And how many guys wish they could be back? I've gotten a million of those texts. Oh, this weekend I have this. We have a lot of guys coaching that just couldn't make it, or other things going on. But to get that many guys to come back, I've told other programs at Mizzou, other coaches, and they're like, you're going to get that many guys. And I'm like, we have a really close, it's a family program. And even the older generation, with having 3 of the former head coaches coming back. So all 3 former coaches, Roper, Kopniski, and Whitney, they're all going to be here the whole weekend. So it's going to be a good time, a really good time. Of probably hear some great stories, and they'll get better and better, and how they were in college and how tough they were. But it'll be I'm looking forward to just being with everybody, and everybody from all the different generations of Tiger Style and the Whitney era and the Kopniski and Roper eras coming together and hanging out in my basement in my house, and just having a good time.
Yeah, I can definitely attest to that. As when you're saying about a really tight knit, what I find unusual too is how many guys that I'm pretty good friends with that I didn't even wrestle on the team with. Like they weren't even here at the same time that I was there. And but still, just through the guys that I wrestled with are close still with those guys, and there's that overlap. And we all get together at some point doing something throughout the years, and so it's real cool. I'm going to be trying to get back for either one or both of those things, either Saturday night or Sunday for the duel.
That's awesome. We got a lot coming back, so it's amazing. Just guys from all over. It's I'm always excited. We started this a few years back. It was probably 4 or 5 years ago when we upset Ohio State at home, and I think we had about 50 to 60 guys back that weekend. But just the continual, just people continuing to come back for this weekend. That it's a lot of fun and good for the program and good for the team.
Absolutely. For sure. Well, we're looking forward to it. And if you are an alumni, I guess get on and get your registration in to let them know you're coming. Get you a free T-shirt. And any other closing remarks, details you want to throw in for the week or the upcoming?
Looking forward to this duel with Arizona State. It's another top 10 team. They've beaten Penn State. I think our team battles really hard, and they're growing up, and it has a future to it. It's this year and in the future with the youth that we have in this program that I would love to see the state come out. It's a Sunday. There's not a lot of high school wrestling. I'm really hoping that the state, when I look at other programs and the tradition they have, and we have better tradition than a lot of those programs and the crowds they're getting, that I'd love to see the state of Missouri come out and pack the place for this Arizona State duel and give our team something to be fired up for, and going out and performing in front of a great crowd. I would love to see that start happening more and more. Our crowds get bigger and bigger, but I'd love to see for this match and the Iowa State one, we have 2 big home duels coming up, big crowds coming out to support this young group of kids.
Sure. Yeah. And it makes it a lot more fun, and it makes it a great atmosphere.
It does.
The last big one I was at was the biggest one was, I guess, Oklahoma State last year at the state tournament. That was one of the bigger ones that was attended that I've been to in the last year. So it made it a lot more exciting. And that match came down to, I think the last match
came down to heavyweight, and it went overtime. So it was a great duel.
Absolutely. So hopefully we can get some more great numbers out, great support, great atmosphere for a alumni weekend and hosting Arizona State. Coach, appreciate the time.
Thanks, Marcus.
We'll get together with somebody next week. Maybe you, maybe Dom, maybe Coach Todd. I haven't talked to Coach Maple yet.
To get Coach Maple on. Coach Maple hasn't been on yet, so
I haven't got to talk to him yet.
Next week.
All right. Well, we will see you guys all next week. Have a good one.
Okay. Take care.